Thinking about moving to Philadelphia? Well, here are 5 things, yes, 5 things you can expect to, kind of see when you move here and live here and visit. Let's get into it. Number 1, first impressions. The first thing you know about Philadelphia, it's how big it is, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a small town feel. It is the 6th largest city in the United States, and somehow it keeps that small town energy going. Obviously, it depends on neighborhoods, but seriously, in Philly, it's all about knowing your neighborhood, shopping local, and just kind of taking pride in their blocks. Keep in mind, for example, some blocks, some neighborhoods have block captains. My mom lived in South Philly and they had a block captain, and she ran a real tight ship. Like, they had monthly newsletters, they had cleanings on the street every 3-4 months, especially in the springtime, in the summer and the fall. I mean, you could practically eat off the streets on her, on her where she lived. Please don't do that. Don't eat anything off the street, kids. But each neighborhood has its own vibes. Like in South Philly, you got the old school Italian neighborhoods, you got Fishtown, and I'm gonna throw in Port Richmond in there too. Kind of got a creative drive, more of like a creative hub going on there. And then you have West Philadelphia, which is very diverse and lively. Got a lot of students, but a lot of professional teachers, PhD students, doctors and doctorates that live there. So you gotta remember, even a 20-minute drive from one neighborhood to the next could change like that. But don't expect Philadelphia to have fake smiles and kind of just laugh in your face. They are very direct, sometimes even brutally honest. I moved here back in 1999, and I will tell you, I kind of fit in because I'm from New York, upstate New York, and we are very blunt and very honest up there. And I moved here, I kind of fit in. But if you're not, like say you're from the Midwest and you come here and you kind of used to, a little bit more of a slower vibe, the brutality of the honesty here will smack you right in the face. The vibe will smack you right in the face. So make sure you're prepared for it and expect it. So that way, when you do move here, you kind of know, hey, I kind of knew that was going to happen. And it's kind of like a badge of honor when you get that brutally honest person from Philly telling you what they think of you. So either way, now keep in mind too, Philly layout can throw you off too. It is a little weird. Center City, we call Center City, we don't call downtown Center City. Is like smack dab. Now, it's not smack dab. You would think it'd be smack dab in Philadelphia County, but it's not. You also have Market Street, which is one of the main streets, Market Street, Spruce Street, Chestnut Street, Walnut Street. They all go east to west or west to east, depending on which way you're going. And also Broad Street goes up and down, north to south, south to north. If you know those kind of main streets out of Philadelphia, Spring Garden Street is another one you really want to keep an eye on. If you know them, you kind of can get yourself around a little bit easier. The street numbers will throw you off big time. It really will. It will happen because you could, for example, live on what's called 4th and Wolf. So your street number could be 441 Wolf Street, but your friend could live at 441 North 5th Street. Yeah. So you also have the numbers you got to keep track of. Now, the good thing is when you are in Center City, the numbers, even numbers go one way and uneven number streets go another way. So that makes your life a little bit easier. Cool thing with Philly is that, if you, miss where you're trying to go, you miss the turn, you kind of just go around because everything kind of goes one way and one direction, especially in Center City. It does give you, like I said, and Philly kind of gives you that what big city offers, but it still feels like a community that, everybody knows you kind of thing, depending on where you live. Obviously, keep in mind, if you're moving here, this is the guy you want to talk to. Any relocating, moving here, this is my contact info. Give me a call, send me a DM, email. Don't send me smoke signals. I haven't figured out how to read smoke signals yet. And definitely don't send a carrier pigeon. A lot of times pigeons around here are like flying rats, just like squirrels. So don't send me a carrier pigeon, but hit me up. Either way, number 2, the reality. Now you gotta know, before you kind of romanticize and like, oh, Philly is all so cool and nice, we're gonna smack you right here with a nice little reality check. It's not all about murals. Yes, we have 4,000 plus murals. Yes, 4,000 with the 4 and 1,000 murals going on. You gotta remember that. You gotta check them out. They're all over. Like, you can be in a semi-decent neighborhood, see some amazing murals. You can be in a not-so-great neighborhood, see murals, but you also can be in some amazing neighborhoods and see lots of murals. Not all about cheesesteaks, a little charm, a little Philly charm. It comes with a few things you gotta keep track of. Let's talk about transportation. How do people get around? Well, if you live in Center City, the city does run on SEPTA. Like, that's what it's called, Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Association, I think SEPTA is. But it's basically a network of buses, trolleys, subways, and regional rails. And it's kind of cool because you can work in Center City, but you take the regional rail to the suburbs like Ardmore, King of Prussia, Media, different aspects of that, different suburbs that you can get to back and forth. But you can also take the trolley, take the subway, the buses, and it's not perfect. New York City's transportation system is way better. And I know a lot of people complain about it, but it's way better than Philly. It's not perfect, but it works. A monthly pass under $100 gets you around unlimited rides for the month. And it's way better than spending time on 476, 95 Roosevelt Boulevard. By the way, Roosevelt Boulevard now has not only traffic light cameras, like they have speed light cameras now. And I read somewhere, if you're a car commuter, you'll spend about 120 hours a year just sitting in traffic. So if there's an opportunity to drive, walk, bike, Uber, Lyft, cabs, do that. Seriously, I mean, it's crazy. Parking here is out of its mind. It's like a competitive sport. I mean, it really is. Spots are rare. A lot of people nowadays have 2 cars to each household. The parking is horrible. Like there are places in Northeast Philly, South Philly, Fitchtown, those areas, they don't have a lot of parking. So sometimes you're parking 3 blocks away from your house. And now you can keep in mind too, we have what's called the parking authority. They move faster than you can blink. I mean, like seriously, like if there's a 2-hour limit in Center City, you better stick with 2 hours and move your car. Because what'll happen is parking authority will kind of walk by, boom, 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 see your car, look at the time and say, ooh, you're almost up in 2 hours. They'll put a little chalk mark on your car. And then they'll come back, maybe an hour later. And you thought you were smart because you updated, got a new parking, paid for an extra 2 hours. And they realize like, oh, you stayed past your 2 hours. Even though you paid for another 2 hours, they'll still give you a ticket. Sometimes we say, you can get a ticket, just think about parking wrong. It's the best move, learn the rules fast, get the car like most people do, and just ride, bike, and walk. Save your time, save your money, and sometimes your sanity, all right? Speaking of money, let's talk about that, cost of living. Compared to New York and DC, Philly's still a bargain. I mean, really seriously, you can snag a nice little 1-bedroom apartment in Center City for like $1,600 to $2,000. Living in Center City, it's a little bit smaller, a little more cramped apartment, but you do have a different vibe. Compare that to Manayunk and Roxborough, you can live out there, you get a 1-bedroom and a nice apartment complex for about $1,400-1,500. Again, cheaper, way less than Manhattan, way less than Los Angeles, Miami, all these other big cities. So you can still get a big city vibe here, kind of smaller town feel with the prices. Groceries, shopping, dining are also cheaper than New York, for example. Costs are going up. That's how it is nowadays. Slowly moving up. Property taxes are moderate, but if you buy a house with a 10-year tax abatement, yes, you still pay taxes, but it's usually between $500 to $600 a year in taxes compared to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And that tax abatement is good for 10 years. But I will tell you, the program is slowly, surely dissipating. It's not as common as it used to be, but there are still houses, new construction, with 10-year or 5-year tax abatements. That's probably one of the biggest perks about moving here. You can get it in a great neighborhood. By the way, it can be like in a great neighborhood like Northern Liberties. And basically you give yourself a good, nice tax break out of that. Especially if you're only living here for 4 or 5 years, 10-year back tax abatement is a good buy. So either way, but as I said before, sure, if you're moving here, check me out. Like this guy, send me an email, text, call, contact info below. Anyway, let's keep moving here. Philly does give you all 4 seasons, sometimes in the same week. Like in October, it could be 45 degrees one day, 85 the next. Could rain, possibly snow. Doesn't really snow that often in October here. I think that's maybe once in here in all my years living here. Summers are hot and sticky. Winters can be real cold. Spring, unpredictable. Again, it could be 40 degrees one day, 3 days later, it could be 85. This is the perfect example. I'm doing this first week of November, right? This whole week's been real nice. 60, 65, sunny, beautiful. Nighttime, it's like 32. Heat's kicking on, not so nice. Next week, it's gonna go from 65 to like 42, like that. So the weather is unpredictable in the spring, unpredictable in the fall. In the winter, snow usually doesn't happen until January, February. That's when snow will start popping, will start dropping down on you. November, December, we're usually pretty lucky, knock on wood, that it doesn't snow that much, okay? Now, you wanna talk about, also we gotta talk about crime and safety. Definitely wanna talk about that. Let's be real. Philly is a big city, has its problems. Crime used to be really bad, like in 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, and then 23, we got got a new neighbor. She's been really fighting really hard to bring the crime stats down, which she has definitely been dropping for the last 2 years. Better policing, better community programs. Most areas like Center City, University City, Port Richmond, Northern Liberties, Fishtown, I can go on and on. There are some great neighborhoods where crime is a lot better than certain other neighborhoods. So you gotta understand, as you live here, you'll figure out where to go and not to go, what time to go, what time not to go to these different neighborhoods. Obviously, be sensible, be smart. You know, we do have some cool tools like apps like Citizen, Stop Crime. So that kind of keeps you things going, all right? So yes, it can be dangerous, be smart, and you'll be fine. And that's important to remember. Like, because I do a lot of calls, especially I'll get calls from parents who are sending their kids to school, and they'll say, hey, you know, we're thinking about, you know, buying a house or buying a condo or townhouse for our son and daughter while they're attending colleges here. So where do we kind of want to live? We want to be safe. So those are the kind of things you want to keep track of. All right. Number 3, culture shock. Let's talk about this. This is big here. Sports are everywhere. This is a Philly. Philly is a sports town. It's a football town. It really is football. It's a way of life here. When it's football season, every Sunday when the Eagles play. Yes, we have the Phillies, we have the Flyers, we have the Sixers, Philadelphia Union, right outside of Philadelphia. You have that aspect. We're also getting a WNBA team that's coming in the next couple of years. So we have a lot of professional sports here. But don't get it wrong. This is a football town. I mean, game day feels like a national holiday. It really does. You know, people are excited. I always love it. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm sorry. I'm a Giants fan, originally from New York. Still, you know, still true blue. But it's funny watching social media when the Eagles play, because you'll know if they're doing good or bad. Just look at social media, apps like Instagram, Facebook, you'll see Twitter, you'll see how they're doing. If they're doing great, everybody's posting on social media. If they're not doing great, people are complaining and posting a lot less about the Eagles. That's just the way it is. You gotta remember, this is the same city that booed Santa Claus. Yes, they booed Santa Claus. He was at an Eagles game, was traveling through a halftime, and people didn't like him, started booing him, and threw snowballs. So it happens. Town is crazy. In 2018 and 2024, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the town decided to be smart. Well, they tried to prevent some craziness, so they started lighting the street poles. They started greasing the lighting poles, the street poles, and guess what? People still were able to climb on top of it. Yes, greased the street poles to hold the lights, right? They greased them. I'm saying again, they greased the light bulbs and poles, and the people still climbed up them. So it goes crazy when they win the Super Bowl here. It's people just come out of their houses and come onto the street and just start partying and hooting and hollering, setting off fireworks, flipping some cars. Yes, it gets a little crazy here. So if you're not a football fan, it's not your thing. Keep it to yourself. If you're not a football fan, just kind of go with it. Wear green on game day. But whatever you do, don't wear a Cowboys jersey here. You can wear a Giants jersey around, not at the game. When you go into the game and you're an opposite team or whoever they're playing, the Eagles are playing, don't wear their colors, don't wear their jersey. Don't even think about it, right? Especially you Cowboy fans, don't do it. You will get roasted. I mean, people take football very seriously. Yes, and it's not all about football here. We do have great food. It's not all about cheesesteaks. It's not all about Pat's and Geno's. I will tell you, a lot of locals do not go to Pat's and Geno's. But the Philly food scene is way bigger and way better than just Pat's and Geno's. I mean, you got the Italian market in South Philly. It's off of it's North 9th and Washington. So you got 9th at Washington Avenue and then 9th Street. You go down 9th Street all the way straight through. That's the Italian market. It's amazing with the cannolis, the homemade pasta, the cheeses, the everything. I mean, it's also a great little food market there, like a local food market. It's like a nice little farmer's market going on there. Definitely check it out. Check out Chinatown. Actually, Chinatown here is one of the oldest Chinatowns in all of the United States. It's small, but it's compact. Got some amazing dim sum there, bubble tea. Got some great hot pot spots. Try to say that 10 times, hot pot spots. Also, if you're here visiting, moving here, as soon as you move here, you want to check out the Reading Terminal Market at least once. You got the Amish donuts, got the roast pork sandwiches from Dinex. Those sandwiches even been on the Food Channel. You have kebabs. I mean, there's so many. I think there's like 80 different vendors in the Reading Terminal Market. Check it out. And actually, that place has the oldest, longest running farmers market at Reading Terminal. Definitely don't forget that. Check it out. We also want to talk about water ice. Philly's not just cheesesteak. It's really cheesesteaks, water ice, and pretzels. People here buy water ice. I don't get it. don't like it, but that's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that in 2 seconds. I don't like it. It's too sweet for me, but people buy water ice. It's kind of like a shaved ice and sorbet mixed together. It's very sweet. I think it's very sweet. Too sweet for me. And then they buy a pretzel with mustard. That's a staple here. Another staple here is Scrapple. Yes, Scrapple. It's like a remnant. It's deep fried pork scraps and cornmeal. And water ice I can get along with. I can deal with. But Scrapple, I've tried it. Try it once. People here drench it in ketchup. I'll be honest, it's disgusting. If you don't think it's disgusting, please comment below. By the way, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Either way, I don't like Scrapple. Please comment below, let me know if you like Scrapple. Explain to me what the deliciousness about it. I don't get it. Now, the food culture is kind of like the Philly people we talked about. It's brutally honest, it's bold, unpretentious, built on traditions, and you can get everything. People here will argue with you about cheesesteaks. Who has the best cheesesteak? Where's the best cheesesteak? And like I said, the locals, they'll go to Pat's and Gino's and D'Alessandro's, and they'll argue. Some people argue, say it's best. Some people say there's a place called Chubby's. People like that too. Jim's, Tony's, like we got so many cheesesteak places, and people like certain things. I always say the bun is the most important. The whole wheat, the bread that it comes on is probably the most important. The steak is, it's kind of cheap steak, but you do have to learn how to order, especially if you go to Pat's and Gino's. Sometimes you got to figure out when you go order, you got to say with whiz or hold onions. Like there's a way to order your cheesesteak, especially at places like D'Alessandro's, Pat's and Gino's. You need to learn real quick because they don't have a lot of patience when they kind of get at you about that. Now, let's talk about the wonderful dialect, the Philly language. When I first moved here, I was shocked. People don't say water, they say water. It's water ice. They say Jawn, J-A-W-N, that's a word. And Jawn, what does Jawn mean? Jawn can mean a lot of things, like check out my new Jawns, which could be check out my new sneakers. I just picked up a new Jawn, went down to the car lot and got a new Jawn, which means a new car. They also say use. and use is a word for a lot of things. Use is basically Y-O-U-S-E. Like you'll hear this a lot. You guys are crazy, which means people over there, that group of people, you group of people are crazy. Use guys. They'll also say jeet. Use guys, jeet. Now what does that mean? That's Philly slang, which means did you guys eat? That's use guys, did you eat? Jeet is a word, but it really is a sentence. Did you eat? Jeet. Don't ask me how to spell it. If you know how to spell it, comment below, because I have no idea how do you spell jeet, but it's a word. It's a sentence, that's a word, all right? So we got use guys, Jawn, jeet. There's a lot more going on in Philly. Sometimes, when I first moved here, I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time sometimes understanding what people were saying. Philly dialect is sometimes very garbled, and they take words and sentences and make it a word. But you'll learn pretty quickly. I still try not to talk like if I'm from Philly. Even though we're loud and intense, we have a lot of art here. We really do. Over 4,000 murals. I talked about it before. Check them out. You can actually take tour buses to go see these different murals. It's like portraits of activists, musicians, and everyday heroes. There are small ones, there's big ones. There's like some awesome Art Deco artwork on the murals. They used that. They came back they started that back in the mid 80s, tried to fight graffiti. I would say you probably see a lot less graffiti in Philly than you do like in New York City. What makes it unique is also Philly does have a music scene. I mean, Philly gave world legends like The Roots, Boys II Men, Patti LaBelle. Met her once. She was really nice. Met her on Chestnut and Broad. Ran into her, said hi. She was very sweet. She was very nice to me. We still have a lot of open mic nights all over the place in Philly. Live music, jazz clubs, blues clubs, rock clubs, smooth jazz. I mean, it's everywhere. But Philadelphia will complain about potholes. We will defend the city, but we will also complain about the city. You got bad parking, potholes everywhere. Some potholes will sit there for years. Now, last but not least, it's probably my favorite thing, number 5, where and how to live. Now that you know what Philly life like is, you gotta remember, let's talk about where to live. Definitely check out my other video, top 5 neighborhoods to live in. Check that out. I go more in depth about the different neighborhoods to live in, but right here, we're gonna talk about it real quick. Center City is pretty cool. Like I talked about before, rent's a little bit higher. Places, the apartments are a little bit smaller, so you'll have to figure that out if that's something for you, because if you're working in Center City, it's great to live in Center City. When I first moved here, that's what I did. I actually started working at a corporate job in Center City, lived in Center City for a while, loved it. It was a lot of fun. Great restaurants, food, dining. I mean, you can just roll out of bed and go to some great dining restaurants. you know, different bars, so on and so forth on Saturday nights. It's pretty awesome. Got the local coffee shops right in the center of the city. Now, if you want something different, you know, you can always do Fishtown, Port Richmond, more of a creative hub, trendier neighborhoods, younger crowd. You'll find a younger crowd like in Port Richmond, Northern Liberties, Fishtown. You'll do that. Now, if you want an even younger crowd, like early 20s, probably more like West Philly, University City, like I talked about before. A lot of students, a lot of professionals that live there. There's labs. You know, I got the University of Pennsylvania, Drexel University, that goes on over there. So you have that crowd that's there. Teachers, doctorate students that live in West Philly. Talked about Port Richmond, Fishtown, Northern Liberties. Go a little bit further up, Manayunk, you'll find a younger crowd, but also more of a family because of the vibe that's over there. The Wissahickon Trail over in Manayunk, Roxborough. Manayunk and Roxborough is probably my favorite neighborhood of all of Philadelphia, just because the vibe is there. You'll have a lot more parking, driveways, tree-lined streets, sidewalks. There's parts in Philly, there's no sidewalks. It's like the sidewalk is like this big. A lot of one-way streets, small streets, no parking. But like Manayunk, Roxborough, Chestnut Hill, a little bit of an older crowd, still very trendy. Awesome restaurants up in Chestnut Hill, some awesome history up in Chestnut Hill. Chestnut Hill and Manayunk, Roxborough right next to each other. Definitely check that out. You also got, you know, Old City, Queens Village, so on and so forth. Some amazing areas in Philadelphia. Definitely, as always, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button. Don't hit that thumb button. Hit the like button, the thumbs up. Be nice. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out my next video, and I'll see you out there.